This is the Gita class, chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, and then the sloka is 11th sloka. We'll do the Mangalachana prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjala Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambhitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Ganta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktabanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Bhagavan Ki Jai Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Krishna Bhagavan. So this is the chapter 12 and then sloka number 7. Adhaitadapyashaktosi kartumadyogamashritah sarvakarmapalatyagam tatah kuruyatatmavan adhaitadapyashaktosi kartumadyogamashritah sarvakarmapalatyagam tatah kuruyatatmavan adhaitadapyashaktosi kartumadyogamashritah sarvakarmapalatyagam tatah kuruyatatmavan atha, even though etad, this, api, also, asaktaha, unable, ase, you are, kartum, to perform, mat, unto me, yogam, in devotional service, ashritaha, taking refuge, sarva karma, of all activities, phala, of the results, tyagam, renunciation, tataha, then, kuru, do, yadatmavan, self-situated, yadatmavan, wow. Yadatmavan means self-situated. Etat atmavan. If, however, you are unable to work in this conscious of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. Okay? Again I repeat, if, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all the results of your work and try to be self-situated. So on the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. So on the, and then before the 8th sloka, Bhagavan says, like, if you are ananya yogena, always constantly thinking about me, then I will remove from you from the Mrichu Samsara Sagra, cycle of birth and death. So for that, his sadhanas, on the 8th sloka, he says, like, give your mind and buddhi to me totally. And then the 9th sloka, if you cannot able to do it, do the abhyasa yoga, so that eventually you can get to me, you can give it to me. Then on the 10th sloka, he says, like, even if you can't able to do the abhyasa of controlling the mind and buddhi and apply to me, then what you can do is, like, you can do the my karma, mat karma, Bhagavan's karmas, like, going to the temple, doing the puja and all that, all related to Bhagavad Daiva Karyas. And in this sloka, he says, like, even if you can't able to do this also, what you need to do is, like, whatever you are doing the work, you just give the results of the work to me. Don't keep the results, don't expect the results, whatever the result comes, you just give it to me. And it is like a very great, sadhana. It's very simple, at the same time difficult to do. So this is called prasada bhavana. Prasada bhavana in the sense, how you give the results to Bhagavan. So how you, it means, whatever the phala you get it, if you don't react to that phala and take that phala as a prasadam, that is nothing but giving the results to the Bhagavan. Because whatever you do, work, you get the result. Good, good, bad, bad. And then you are above that. Vivekananda quote, good, good, bad, bad, and then yogi, transcendental to this, and then that's what be a yogi, something. A song of the yogi, he says. So, and then what happens when you don't react to the results of the work? What happens slowly? It becomes a yoga, and eventually you will be the realized soul. And this is like a, and then the next sloka he explains more importance about this karma phala tyagam. So it's all interconnected. So now let's see the purport, what the Prabhupada says. It may be that one is unable even to sympathize with the activities of Krishna consciousness because of social, familial, or religious considerations, or because of some other impediments. In the life it happens. And then sometimes even your mind may not be in the mood. And then sometimes the situations will come. And you may not be able to do the above 3 sadhanas. Like what is that? Giving up the mind and buddhi to entirely Bhagavan. If not abhyasa, practice. If not, do the only daiva karyas. Abhyasa what? Controlling the mind and buddhi to Bhagavan. Then if not, all the devotion service. Then even if that is not also, then this one is talking about. If one attaches himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be objections from family members or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated result of his activities to some good cause. Some procedures are described in the Vedic rules. There are many descriptions of sacrifices and special functions for the full moon day, and there is a special work in which the result of one's previous action may be applied. Thus, one may gradually become elevated to the state of knowledge. It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospital or some other social institution, he gives up the hard-earned result of his activities. Yeah, it's not easy. But again, the catch is like if you are giving for the tax benefit or because you are giving for some other benefit, that is not considered like a giving up the results. Because again, you did not give the results. That is also recommended here, because by the practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually, and in that purified state of mind, one becomes able to understand the Krishna consciousness. So again, exactly, if you are not expecting the results, not desiring the results, and also giving up the results, then eventually the mind won't be attached to that particular, and mind and senses won't be attached to that particular results, and eventually it will become the purified mind. So the mind is corrupted because of the desires in the mind. And if there is no desires, then mind will be purified. That's where you give the mind to the Bhagavan. Gradually purified. Okay. Of course, Krishna consciousness is not dependent on any other experience, because Krishna consciousness itself can purify one's mind. But if there are impediments to accepting Krishna consciousness, one may try to give up the results of his actions. In that respect, social service, community service, national service, sacrifice for one's country, etc. may be accepted, so that someday one may come to the stage of pure devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Supreme Lord. And here also, if you really see, so many slokas, so many times say that it's not you are the one who is doing the things. It's all happening because of the Bhagavan's nature, and the nature is doing all this Maya. So in reality, if you really have this understanding, then it is very easy to give up the results to Bhagavan, because you are not the one who is doing it. First of all, this is not even yours. You think that it is yours, but you are given under certain conditions. In Bhagavad Gita 1846, 18 chapter 46 sloka, we find it is stated, Yata pravratir bhutanam. If one desires to sacrifice for the Supreme Cause, even if he does not know that the Supreme Cause is Krishna, he will come gradually to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Cause by the sacrificial method. That's what it is. So that is the key point. So there are how many sadhanas? 4 sadhanas mentioned. One is give their mind and buddhi to totally to Bhagavan, totally to Brahma iti, Bhagavan iti, Paramatma iti Shabdaye. Whatever they may be the thing, just give it to everything, then you will realize your true nature. If not, then you do the Abhyasa, practice, Abhyasa Vairagya basically, again to control the mind and then give the mind to the Bhagavan. If not, then do the devotional service, work for him, and if not, whatever work, you just give the results to Bhagavan. Now let's see the Vidya Prakashananda Swami. He says so he says the one is Yata Atmavan he is making. Basically, Yata Atmavan means it's not the realization of the self, it's like a mainly mind. Yata Atmavan. Yata means the structure of the mind or the controlled mind, Niyamita mind. Niyamita mind means you are fixed in the mind that you are not accepting the results and you are giving the results to the Bhagavan. Then all the results, not just the one, all the karmas, good or bad or whatever, that doesn't mean that you can do the abominable actions and then give the results to Bhagavan. That is not that. So you are already in this path. So that means you are already structured. You are already dharma related actions only you will be doing it. In Kali Yuga it is very hard, but still it is possible. Okay. Now, so he says that from the starting, waking state, starting point to the ending before you sleep, we will be doing so many karmas. Daily we will be doing some karmas like brushing the teeth and then drinking the coffee and then doing the eating something, breakfast, lunch, and then going to the work and all those things. Actually, up to certain points like cleaning the teeth and everything, you don't expect anything basically. The mind will be clean. Says that okay, I need to get out of this, nothing like that. But going to the work and then getting the money and all that, there is a interest, self-interest is there. To satisfy or enjoy the bhogas. That's the goal. But there are some other things which you don't expect any results at all. You don't even think about the result at all. So similarly, like that mentality, you do all the works, but you will be doing only the prescribed duties of the works only. You won't be doing the unprescribed stuff. You won't be doing it all. Then, when you are doing all those karmas, so back of the mind you should have the Daiva Bhavana, like the Lord's, the thought, one single thought should be the Paramatma Bhavana should be there. Okay, so again, this is not here in this particular thing, Advaita won't work. Because it should be Dvaita only. You are doing it, you are doing all the karmas, and you are part and parcel of the Bhagavan, Krishna. So, why we want to give the results to them? Because we are in the material world and contaminated, we are entangled here. To get out from this, what you need to do, you need to detach basically. Asanga shastrena dhudena chittva. Detachment is, this is how the detach is. So, detachment, not doing the work, but whatever the work is assigned based on your karmas, because you won't be given any accidental work or anything. All the works, whatever is assigned to you, is already predetermined, and that's why you're going to get it. So that's why in this one, you will be always happy. You won't have any, any regrets or anything, or expectations or any happiness and distress, nothing like that. This is a little tough, but it is possible. Then, and also here Nimitta Matra, basically. We need to think that we are just the instrument of the Bhagavan, but we are not a Nimitta Matram Bhavasavisachi. It's just like a Nimitta Matra. You are not, because there are so many things which should happen until for the work to happen. And 18th chapter says like Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanam Prabodhame Sankhya Krutante Praktani Te Sarvakarmanam Adhishtanam Tathakarta Karanam Cha Pratakvidam Vividacha Pratakcheshtaha Daivam Chevatra Panchama. So Daivam should be blessed to have anything to happen. So, and this mind, with this mind, then you will be just devoting all your work to Bhagavan only. Then you don't expect anything, the result, and Ishwararpana Buddhi. Like even you do Sandhyavandanam also, at the end you will do Krishnarpanam, Ishwararpanam, Umamaheshwar Prityardham. That's what you should be. So, again, samasta karma means not asat karyas or papa karmas. Papa karmas, you won't be doing it. I know in the Kali Yuga, the mind is more interested in the papa karmas only because of the things we are in the living in the world, because of the food you take it, and it's all so much rajasic and tamasic outside the world, so it is very hard. But you keep on analyzing continuously, and then what are you desiring it, and then with vivechana, viveka, vairagya, and the jnana, bhakti, all those helps us to be in the dharmic path. And even you see, even in the dharmic path also, you can enjoy the same ardhakamas, everything you can enjoy with the dharma only. But the still mind thinks that when you do the adharma way, you enjoy more. That is what the mind will give you the charge sheet basically. No, it will tell you that okay, you do this way and it is more fun. But that is very dangerous, as the Shastra says. So for that you need to educate the mind and not obey the demands of the mind, and then try to postpone the adharmic things which are coming in the mind. Postpone, so delay so much that eventually you lose interest in doing that. Whereas the dharmic works, just do it immediately. You do only immediately the dharmic ones, so that you will have no time to do the adharmic ones. This world is Maya, and there is so many temptations outside, but we need to control ourselves. This is the sadhana, we need to do it. It's almost like going against the wave. Okay? Then like, dana dharmas, vratas, pujas, nitya naimitika karmas, like, that is why mainly there is a grihastha is so blissful, because you are always busy with raising the kids and raising the family, and then trying to work for the kids and all that. That is very important. At the same time, don't be gruha medhi. Be a gruhastha. Always try to detach from the gruha also, but at the same time do all the needs for them, whatever they need it. Then you will be in the structured way of living the life. So don't crave for anything, and then with whatever money you have, whatever the things you have, then happily enjoy with that, and don't crave for anything else. Like in the Bhaja Govindam also says, like, you enjoy with whatever money you have. Okay, Bhogat, some sloka is there. So with that one, Shankaracharya also says that you enjoy with whatever money you have. So again, basically, so what the point here is, whatever the things you are doing each and every time, just remember the Bhagavan and do it. And then at the same time, while doing it, you may not remember it, but Krishna says to Arjuna that Mahamanusmarijyacha, think about me and then do the yuddha. And the yuddha is so, killing is my so much concentration and all that needed. But at that time also he says that think of me means what? You will usually have, once you practice it, you will think about the Bhagavan and the results that. So then he says like, Vijay Singh says like, Bhagavan is giving so much leisure, so much easy paths for us. Okay, first mind and buddhi giving is maybe if you find difficult. Abhyasa is very easy, because every day we are used to so many things, going to work or going to so many things. Is like with the abhyasa we are doing it, when we can easily do it, and then we have experience also. So why can't we do this abhyasa? And after that, Daiva Karya is also pretty easy. Going to the temple, working for the temple and stuff, going to the parties, that's also pretty easy, because there's not like, nothing against anything. Giving the mind and buddhi is also easy actually, but if you think like that. And this is the very easiest path. So whatever you are doing, have that consciousness and give the results. And he says like even the normal persons also can do this. So that means there are not many, like for example, in the material world, if you want to have the power or money, that's very hard to achieve, and then you should have so many qualifications. Whereas working in the spiritual life, it's so easy. Even you don't have to have any qualification like this. Just give the results. Very simple. It's all mindset only. And outside, you are not different from the anyone. You are just in the society, whatever the society, you are just doing everything, but the results you are giving to Bhagavan. It is like internal stuff. No one knows that. Again, Mahamars Marujja, Bhagavan says, so Ishwararpana. Then with this, what happens is, like when you are constantly thinking about Bhagavan and giving the results, what happens is, eventually what happens, he says, like the Papa will go away. That means what? The sin is, desiring is the main sin. This desire itself is going away because you are not expecting the results. And then with this one, Chitta Shuddhi. So mind will be cleaned. And when once mind is cleaned, then Jnana Udaya, Jnanodaya Mayi Kramamga Moksham Labinchagaradu. Then Jnana will Udaya, like a sun in the morning, like Jnana will rise in the heart. Like in the Chatusloki, Gita also says, like Aham Jnanajam Tamaha Nashayami Atma Bhavastha Jnanadipena Bhasvata. He's going to destroy the ignorance by lighting the Jnana Deepa, Deepa of the Jnana. Then with this one you get the Moksha. Moksha means what? You are already Atman. You are already Satchidananda. All you need to is like realizing that, self-realization. That itself is the Moksha, Nirvana and all that. So, and he also says, like, to give the results, all you need is like little bit of mental strength. And then the structured mind, Niyama, Mano Niyamana Sakti. Mano Niyamana Sakti. Then little bit of effort is very important. You need to have that knowledge, that remembrance, and then you need to have that little bit of mind, because mind will agitate and then go against this. And it says, like, you are working so hard, why you are not expecting the results, why you are not enjoying the results. That kind of regressions will come. But if you really see the total knowledge point of view, this is like a more better off than expecting the results and be in this world of a life and death cycle. And all the yogis and everyone did this kind of stuff only. They realized ultimately that this is not in the material world, whatever the bhogas, enjoyments, those are not really the bhogas, and then you will never satisfy the indriyas. And in this connection, there is a Ayati story. I'm going to talk about that. So Nahusha is the one, and then his king is Yayati, I think the second one. And then the first son is like, he's more interested in spirituality, so he goes off to the forest. And this guy is Ayati, he's very beautiful and all that. What happens is, like, one time when he was, so he married a king's daughter, that's called Sarmishta. And then while going, what happens is, like, Sarmishta and then the Shukracharya, his guru, spiritual master, and Shukracharya's daughter is Devayani. When Devayani and Sarmishta, they were all playing, then what happened immediately, there is a Uma Parvati, Shiva and Parvati, they are visiting, they are going in the sky, going in the sky, and then by seeing them, they are all actually bathing, and then by seeing that, they immediately put on the clothes. While doing that, what happens is, like, the Sarmishta, the king's daughter, she mistakenly took the Devayani, the Shukracharya's daughter's clothes, and wear it. Then the Devayani, so angry, she says, like, you are so fool, and then how dare you can wear the Brahmana's clothes. And then Sharmishta becomes so angry, and then she throws the Devayani in the well, and then goes off. Then while Ayati coming, and then he rescues her from the well, because he touches the hand of the Devayani. Devayani says, like, it's like a married only. You have to marry only. Then Ayati has no choice. He marries Devayani, and then when she goes to his father Shukracharya. Shukracharya was angry about the king, and then with the angry, when he's coming, the king accepts all the demands, and the Devayani says, like, okay, Sarmishta should be my maid servant all the time. That's how she is. And then Sarmishta was going on like that. Then after that, Devayani had some sons, and then Sarmishta also has sons. and then Puru is the one in the Sarmishta son. Then after that, what happens? Because of this, Devyani got angry because Sarmishta also has sons, and she again comes in Shukracharya, and Shukracharya again gives this shapa to the Yayati that you will become old. Then when he becomes old, he says like, I'm still not satisfied, then can you give me the youth? And he says like, you can exchange it. And he asks so many people. Ultimately, his last Sarmishta son, Puru, will give his youth because he is more knowledgeable. Then at that time, he enjoys that and he declares that by having the two lives in the single life, the youth, and then I try to enjoy it, but then when I see that all my indriyas, when I try to satisfy them, they are more and more increasing. They will never satisfy. It's almost like keeping the trying to reduce the fire by putting the ghee on it. Then at that time, then he realizes that part. Then he renounces everything. Then after that, he gives all the Rajas to the Puru and the sons, and Puru will become the Chakravarti. Then he goes to the forest and realizes. So with this one, what happens is like basically expecting the results, working for the results for the Indriya Bhog, because we are all Indriyas, these are all Indriyas only. And whatever you do, there is a result comes, and then that result will entangle you. So when you give that result to the Bhagavan, then what happens is like then you will be free from the cycle of birth and death. So that also your immediate relief is you are not attached to the things are happening, and then you don't have the ego, and then you don't have the even the misery or this, because once you are attached to it, the result is dukkha only. Because you will have, first of all, when you are attached, you want to maintain it for the life, and when you lose it, you will feel so sad. So that's what attachment. Even this is like Putradhara, Gruha, Adishu also you should be detached. So that's the reason this sloka is very important. You can apply all these four sadhanas together at the simultaneously, giving up the mind and buddhi to Bhagavan all the time. If not, practice Abhyasa Yoga, and if not, do only the Yoga Karyas, and if not, do all the results of the work given to Bhagavan. Especially when as the age progresses, you don't need to do anything other than the activities of the Bhagavan, and that is how the age factor. And when you are aging, that's how you are supposed to do it, and then no pressure will come from the society. Okay, so this is very important, and the real self-realization is the main human goal of the life, and this is the main thing we need to work on it. Okay, I'll end up here. Then the next sloka is very important and very interesting, because he gives more importance to this karma paratyaga, because this is very easily accessible to each and every person, and also while you are who are practicing those three other sadhanas, they can also do this one simultaneously. Hare Krishna, Krishna Bhagavan, Prabhupada.